Well, most businesses will probably want to gatekeep this information, but I care about you. So we're going to show you exactly how we do our famous guard chop on the N80 Hilux and also fit a set of our brand new mud flaps. So let's rip in. All right, so first things first, depending on what year model your car is going to depend on whether or not you're going to be able to keep these factory side steps. If you have a newer model with the molded side step, you're going to have to take it off. If you have one that has this plastic covering and it's not fully molded, then you're going to be able to chop it, and I'll show you exactly how we do that. The next step is going to be removing the plugs here, take the factory mud flap off, and then we peel this back.
Rightio guys, let's rip into this install. Marking out with a paint pen the line here as shown. This is to trim the inner plastic. Now we like to use some tin snips to cut this plastic out. You can use heavy duty scissors, but we find the tin snips work best. Marking 40mm in from the corner of the guard, and then underneath the guard there we're marking another 40mm line. This is a reference point for us to draw our line to know where to cut. Once again, using the tin snips, working a little bit at a time, we find not taking too much of the material away makes it easier to cut more accurately. If your car is fitted with this plastic piece, you just need to trim that edge off. Now you're going to want to grab a fairly large mallet and bash the pinch weld completely flat. Once you've done that, grab some black paint and touch up the pinch weld where you've flattened it out. This is Tech Tool, this is our rust preventative. We mark any sort of bare surfaces with this so that it prevents rust. Reinstalling our pinch weld. Now reinstalling all the factory clips. Now it's time to fit our mud flap. Using the factory plugs and screws, we're going to refit the mud flap. And then using our self-tapping screw that screws it back off to the body.
Problem that I was talking about with the factory side step, obviously the flap can't push further enough back, and we do find that we have to trim these anyway to fit the 33s because it will catch on this. With compression, it will literally catch. You need to trim the side step or just take it off completely. We're going to trim this one because, like I said, it's the old style. If you're going to be hard done by saying, oh, why do I have to take my factory steps off? It's a free lift kit, okay? So stop complaining.
So the easiest way to trim these side steps is to keep the mud flap on and then just keep trimming until it sits really nice on the mud flap. You just want to sort of follow the contour of the mud flap there. So as you can see, it suits the same line as what the mud flap wants to naturally run.
So to trim the front, super simple. You just unscrew, there's a couple of screws at the bottom here, take these clips off, and then you're just going to take literally the corner of the bumper off. So it just up here, it's really, really simple. You're just smoothing it out, taking the corner off. And then what you're doing is you're just getting this plastic part. You're just going to push it in, and then you just, where it sort of sits comfortably, you're gonna get the screw, one of the factory screws again, and just screw it back in, and it just holds it there. So there you have it, guys, our most detailed edition of the famous Phat Bars guard chop and mud flap install. If you still have questions at this point, I would strongly suggest putting the tools down and get someone that does. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.